How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe and this is Ohio Wood Burner. Here's what we got going today. We are making bundles for a convenience store. We're going to be making 45 of them. And I use ash as much as I can for bundles because it's just a really nice looking firewood. It doesn't shrink as much when it dries out, and when I split them, when you get the pieces that don't have any bark on it, it really, they don't have a lot of bugs on them. It's just a nice clean stick of firewood and it looks great in a bundle. Before I do bundles, I always make me a wheelbarrow full of what I call smalls. It's just real small split pieces, and I use them to fill in the gaps, and it makes a nice square size bundle. Bundles come in two different sizes for us. A 1 cubic foot, which is 12 inch by 12 inch, and a 3/4 of a cubic foot, which is 9 inches by 9 inches. We're making the smaller bundles today. And in theory, there are 170 of these bundles in a cord of firewood. I've never really gotten that kind of yield out of it. When you make bundles, you wind up rejecting a bunch of logs from a cord because they just don't lay right inside of a bundle. So I get much less than that, but that wood doesn't get wasted. It's going to get put into a bulk order. So this is a different area of the wood yard, and sometimes I do things that make sense to me. And I put this cord of ash out here in the middle of nowhere, and I did it for a number of reasons. You may not know this, but the entire state of Ohio drains onto my land. And we have a real bad drainage problem here. Everything just gets really soggy really quick, and it gets too hard to bring my truck out here to load and unload. If you look over my shoulder, this is the area that we call our back 40. Back 40. I really like that, back 40. It has a it's catchy. I like it a lot. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Anyhow, my back 40, I can't get to it half the time. We have some low spots and the big trucks just can't get back there. Anyhow, I brought this ash out here because I know that when I use this for bundles, I would be using my four-wheeler to pull our little trailer into the garage so that we can do the bundles. So that explains why this ash is out here in the middle of nowhere. But my plan is to keep all of the ash out here. I just like to keep all my wood separated by type. We're gonna fire up the super splitter. We'll get busy making our smalls. I have a previous video where we go into detail on how we do our bundles, and I'll link it down below. But for right now, we're just going to try and bang out 45 of these. I have my labels, and these labels I had made, I paid a lady who's in business to do these kind of things, and she made these labels. I bought the UPC codes. It's a real easy process. I have these printed on 100-pound glossy paper, so it won't absorb water. If the bundles are stored outdoors at the retailer, the label will stay in good shape until it's sold. What I try to accomplish with bundles is making a nice square bundle, and it looks good and looks count for something with this one retailer. So the difference between these and the ones that we make for the campgrounds, At the campgrounds, we don't really care about how they look. We are just putting them together and wrapping them. The size is a little bit bigger. And with these, I just like to spend a little bit more time finding the right pieces, making sure everything fits. I came up with 3 rules for Ohio wood burner. Rule number 3 is we must be profitable. We are not a non-profit organization. Rule number 2, we have to be able to do what we say we're going to do. And rule number 1 is it's got to be fun. Firewood's a tough industry. It's a tough job. I keep saying, we're not selling pillows here, and it's demanding on your body. I still get sore joints from doing firewood, and I try to avoid heavy lifting, but it's repetitive lifting, and that can be just as bad sometimes. But when it comes to bundles, I'm still not sure if it's going to be fun. I still don't know for me if bundles are going to be fun. They're definitely profitable, but it's a whole different market. It's a whole different process. I enjoy the selling. I think that's what I like most about firewood now. It's always been making it. It's always been a blast, but selling has just been a new reality for me. I just love doing it. But I don't know, with bundles, when you're dealing with bulk firewood, you can just have it stacked out there. You can throw a tarp over top of it, and when it's time to deliver, you load it up and you go. Bundles, I would like to be able to have an inventory of these, like hundreds of them stocked somewhere. I don't really have a place to put them. We got to keep the garage open for cars in the wintertime. The barn is just risk because you get these neighbors' cats coming in there and they're going to pee all over them, and that could just ruin, an entire group of bundles. You can't sell them because they stink so bad, and not to mention the birds and all. So I don't know what I'm going to do this winter time yet. Will I still be able to do bundles? And I have these accounts that are selling them, and they're interested in having more. This guy here, he owns this drive-thru. He had made a comment that he's excited now because they're getting into, late August is when all of the Labor Day stuff and all of the back-to-school parties are going on. And he thinks he's going to be selling a whole bunch of them. So I would like to be able to keep supplying him, but I have a lot of things that I have to get figured out first. But then too, in the wintertime, you got to keep this wood dry to get it wrapped. And if it was for a campground, you just wrap it wet and you sell it like that. But these are going into convenience stores, and it's got to look nice. And if you leave wood outside, it gets snow on it, and then they need it wrapped. It takes, how am I going to get that dried out? I might be back to where I'm putting it back in the garage and blowing a fan on it to get it to dry out. So all of these things are on my mind when it comes to bundles. I still just don't know what I'm going to do. Part of the fun idea of firewood is my business is set up just for delivery. I don't have a lot where customers can just stop in and pick up stuff. I don't have a retail location, and I've thought of that, and that might be down the road. But to me, that's not fun, sitting around waiting for someone that may or may not show up. Delivery, you know, I'm in full control of my day. I can schedule so that everything fits into the way that works for me. Obviously, it's going to work for the customer too, but it brings predictability to my day. When I know that I got 2 deliveries tomorrow, I can, if I got other stuff that's going on, I can schedule all around it. There's no surprises and everything's predictable. So tomorrow, I already know we're going to be delivering these bundles, and I had another gentleman call. Oh, so get this, you know, he called because he used to work for a restaurant that I delivered to out in Cornersburg, and he was out there visiting some of his old coworkers and saw my firewood. He asked one of the employees, and they gave him my contact information, and he gave me a call. That was today. And I am now able to load, he wants a 1/4 cord. I'm gonna load that 1/4 cord into my truck. I'm gonna put these bundles on top of it, and I'll be able to make 2 deliveries on the same route, and that'll minimize my fuel and the miles that I'm driving. But that's what I mean about fun. It's something that I can control. You know, it's not like, and this is the big lifestyle change from when I worked, you know, in the corporate life. You know, it was every day. You had to get up, get dressed, and drive into work. And, you know, I'm still busy every day, but it's a different kind of busy. And I always have production. I always have things that need done around the wood yard. But, you know, some days when there's no delivery, that just means I can spend extra time making firewood. On the days that I have deliveries, I can plan other stuff around them. If I have to run an errand for my wife, I can plan that into my delivery so that our personal driving is kept to a minimum too. And that one is 45. Okay. This probably took about 1.5 hours to make this many, but I take my time with these, and you could see I used up all my smalls. I just make sure I get a nice tightly packed bundle. So that's another video of our bundles. Guys, I really appreciate everyone watching the videos and leaving all these positive comments down below. Don't forget, we always post videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. Don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Everyone, have a great day.